Maayong gabi, everyone. So welcome. Okay. So we are now all set for our live. We'll just wait for few more who'd like to see this live tonight. So this is Kuya Nonoy. Samahan si Kuya Nonoy. Green for tonight's topic. We'll have um, green-minded youth bring back home gardening to the new normal. So for now, we have already two viewers. Let's see. Hi to Joe Salik. Siya ata ang ating unang ano ngayon. Ating unang guest. Let me just check if we are able to put it in the public. Okay, it's now public. Yan, kasi that's our lesson learned last time. We were not able to put that in public. Thank you. All right, so we are now public. So we have now three viewers. So let me just mute my phone so that hindi tayo madisturbo ng ating ano. Ito yung ano natin kapag what's this? Kapag uh, hindi pa tayo ganun kateki, di ba? Okay, so we'll just okay. We'll share it with uh, let's share it with okay. I'll just put this one on mute. There we go. Start. All right, so welcome everyone to our second live for tonight. Oh, not really for tonight, but second live since we started our Samahan si Kuya Nonoy. So this is green-minded youth bring back home gardening to the new normal. So as we go live tonight, we'll uh, let me share to you our topic for discussion tonight. Yeah. So tonight we have our very very important guest. I call him important because he's very passionate and as well as leading now I think Region 12 in terms of promoting sustainable agriculture as well as promoting and advocating for our young people and youth leaders to take part in farming. And as I was saying earlier, ang topic po natin ngayon is entitled Green-Minded Youth Bring Back Home Gardening to the New Normal. And this is your Kuya Nonoy hosting the Facebook Live tonight. And I'd like to thank in advance friends who have confirmed that they'll be doing watch party tonight as well. And as well as, of course, our guest thanking him personally for joining us tonight and in connecting us to the information offices of the Tiboli Municipal uh, Government. Okay, so without further ado, we're going to introduce now or add to our stream our guest for tonight. Hi, good evening.
Hi sir, how are you? Good evening to
Good,
each and
good.
everyone ang lahat ng
All right.
nanonood ngayon sa atin.
So before I ask Har to what's this to start, maybe let us give a little bit of a background of the importance of what we are actually doing tonight in terms of uh, fa- Facebook Live. So one is we'd like to reach out to as many as young people as possible to use this platform as advancing, good and useful information to them. That's one. And no, second is because we are under new normal, is everybody's still at home. Maybe it's also good to use technology. Not maybe, but we know that it's very good to use technology and leverage the power of technology to reach as many as young people we can, and then promote very good advocacy, like our advocacy for tonight, which is home gardening. So to introduce,
Yeah.
hi to Ivy Lisitonia from Manila and Rasul na nasa Takoro ngayon. Thank you for watching. So what's the context of tonight's discussion? So we know, and hello to Gina as well. So we know that there is lack of interest. According to research, there was a research conducted by the Young Professionals for Agriculture Development. Their research shows few things. One, that there is a lack of interest in agriculture among young people, and this being conducted, as I said, by PIAP. Then second is there was a research just last quarter of last year talking about that the average age of farmer nowadays in the Philippines is actually only is already 55 years old, and I don't think that's a young age. It's already very old age, very near to being senior citizen. And if we try to look at our population in the country, we actually rank number 12 in the world with the very, very huge population of, I think we are now 108, 105 million, right? And apparently, the farmers of our children are now seeking other careers other from farming. So when I was talking to her before we launched this one, you kind of like, let's try to make farming and then gardening being sexy again. So now let me now introduce to you our guest. So Hariz is a good friend of mine from previous volunteering experience in Soxargen with the Soxargen Tri People Youth Network as well as the Soxargen Peace Network. So Hariz is a both a licensed teacher and also a licensed agriculturist from the Mindanao State University in Jensen, as well as from Notre Dame of Siena College in Pulumulo. He is now a senior high school teacher for agri fishery arts in TESDA, accredited by the as I said, accredited by TESDA. And I think not I think I know, working in Maan National High School in Tiboli, South Cotabato. And aside from that, because he's also a cultural an IP person, he also advocate for IP and cultural development. And this is the most amazing part of Harry's advocacy now. He is actually the one of UNESCO's most outstanding young educator awardee of the country. Ladies and gentlemen, our guest for tonight, Mr. Hariz Tawan. Hi, Hariz. Good evening.
Hi, Sir Roy. Good evening. And of course, sa lahat ng ating mga viewers ngayon nanunood, magandang gabi po sa inyo. And thank you so much for tuning in sa ating live show. And of course, sa pag-abang ng ating programa ngayong gabi.
Thank you. So, maybe the first question, and before going to that, I'd like to do a little bit of a shout out in some of our guidelines. So if you have comments, just do it in the comment box. We're going to read your comments, shout outs, and questions. So we have hello from Gina, shout out from Buchiko Junora, to Marijoy of Australia, and then Jimmy Dalgan. Hi, Jimmy. Thank you for watching. So our first question would be, how did you find your passion, or how did you, if the word discovery is correct, how did you discover your passion and love for agriculture? How did it start?
Well, aside from the fact na our family is or are actually farmers, no, from a family of farmers here sa aming community, eh nakita ko rin yung struggles ng ating mga farmers. And of course, aside din sa fact na ako'y graduate ng agriculture, eh doon ko rin masyado na kumbaga na intindihan yung importansya ng agrikultura sa atin. And by the by the knowledge given to me by my previous institutions, no, academic institutions, somehow nabigyan ako ng um, idea how can I help sa aking community, and it actually fortified my advocacy in agriculture, or for sustainable agriculture, especially in line with development ng ating communities.
So when you say, wow, fortified yourself in agriculture, but fortified parang hinog na hinog talaga, di ba? All right. So, but but you started also volunteering for youth many years ago. Was there a connect to that in terms of volunteering for peace building and now going to agriculture? What was the direct connect, if there is?
The very thing that I learned from volunteering is honing yourself to be uh, human, to be with other people, and of course, training yourself to be um, a good example for others who can actually help other people as well. It was a good training for me, and dun ko rin po nakita yung aking tawag niyan, hilig sa sa pagtulong gamit po yung agrikultura, kumbaga.
All right. And then you were okay, so which is a very, very good platform. And I'm really glad that you, as a young person, this is perhaps because I was looking at some of the researches this morning before going live now. One of the things that they've put into is that young people don't really have interest now in agriculture, and the interest is actually in
Yes.
technology, but which is actually also fine. We are using technology now, diba, as a platform,
Mm.
ICT technology as a platform,
Yes.
but we also be mindful of the need for uh, say community agriculture, etc. And just not to go out of our topic tonight, what we're trying to advocate, as you were saying, is home gardening, no, for young people, because agriculture is maybe a very, very big, very, 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 very broad discussion. But I think we narrow it down to what are actually more palatable, if that's correct term, or what is
Yeah.
more accurate, that we can easily advocate for your age group, which is the adolescent, the youth, and maybe the young professionals that like you. But before going further, I'd like to say hello to Nash Ibos, who's also watching us tonight. So question is, okay, the next part would be, you were as when you start already teaching agriculture in Maan National High School, was there already a start from TESDA during that time? Nag-umpisa na ba yung TESDA, technology vocational for then agriculture as a major? And can you give us a line through for that? Now, where is it in the depth ed TESDA as an advocacy, so that we can, maybe those who are watching now na may kapatid na magsi-senior high school, junior high school, and maybe after this one they will be touched on the importance really of going back agriculture. How would you, what's the process in terms of doing this? I mean, going into tech voc and with Testa in your school.
Well, since I've been teaching at Maan National High School, and I am under the senior high school program, specifically the technical vocational and livelihood program of the Department of Education, we have this type with the technical education skills and development authority, wherein
Mhm.
we have this training grant for senior high school students who are enthusiastic in taking up skills that are in line with the programs of the Department of Education, at the same time, specifically, or most especially, to the programs of the TESDA. And it was a success, actually, being in partner with these two institutions. And I believe it's a great avenue for our youngsters, to our younger generation, to engage uh, to s- to skills development, rather than any other but they have to focus on skills development.
All right. Okay. So that's a little bit of in the introduction we have there. Maybe what I'm going to what not maybe what we are going to do now. I'll show you some pictures, and if you can,
Yeah.
if you can describe this as your journey for as you promote sustainable agriculture and home gardening as well. Let me just pull out uh, the file and let's see. Okay. So this one, how this what is being meant by this photo that you have actually in your Facebook account, Har? What was the story
Yes.
of this one?
This one happened recently. This is actually from our community at Sitio Spring,
Mm-hmm.
Poblacion Tibor, South
Mm-hmm.
Cotabato, wherein we have this program in partnership with the local government unit of Tiboli, especially the
Mm-hmm.
Office of the Municipal Agriculturist, spearheaded by Engineer Barry Lugan.
Mm-hmm.
And ito po yung community na dinevelop ko in partnership with these institutions. And supposedly, this was, ang purpose nito is para lang malabanan yung mga challenges nung lockdowns, ng pandemic, ng quarantine, no? Ang daming mga
Mm-hmm.
problemang
Mm-hmm.
umusbong after nung pagputok ng pandemic and even now. And this is one of the great thing happened sa amin. Na, as you can see in the picture, yung aming community members are preparing the vegetables, that's pechay, preparing the vegetables to be delivered sa market. And these vegetables are supposedly for our own consumption only.
Mm-hmm.
However, since ang dami naming na-produce, then we realized that it's good to share to others. And we shared this vegetable produce dun sa market in a very low price for the very tawag niyan, condition na ibebenta din siya in the lowest prices din kasi pahirapan ngayon ng paghahanap ng gulay ah, is- dahil nga din dito sa epekto ng lockdown yung mga farmer natin hindi nakakapag-deliver ng mga gulay, and it's good that our community is close to the market. That's why we were able to supply some vegetables, and of course we were able to share vegetables sa mga gustong mamitas or maka-experience ng fresh from the garden vegetables uh, na activities kasi nga syempre marami sa atin na nababagot sa kanilang mga bahay. So we invite them. We invite them to visit us sa community and avail the experience, the beauty of being at the garden. And ngayon we are trying to develop no develop further the community, and meron pa kami mga programs na gustong gawin para somehow they can stand alone on their own. And we will try to make it that gardening will be their primary source of living as we have seen the very benefit of it. Not only sa amin na kumakain, of course, dun din sa ibang mga aspeto ng mga tawag niyan, benefits ng ng gardening.
Okay. All right. For this second picture, what is the story of this second picture, Har?
Okay, these are actually my IP children,
There.
my students sa grade 12 taking up yes,
Okay.
these are grade 12
IP. When you say
students.
IP, that's
Nakayuko lang
indigenous
sila.
peoples, right?
Uh,
Indigenous
yeah,
peoples.
yes. They are belonging to Blaan and Tiboli tribe, and I really love being
Blaan
with
and
them.
Tiboli. Okay.
Kasi ano si oh yes, I really love being with them, not by the fact na I am one of them, but by the fact na they have this culture of interest as well. And kumbaga parang hindi sila namimili ng tatrabahuin, kung ano meron yun na yun kumbaga. And sa picture, we are actually doing a skills program. No? They are actually mixing soil para po sa aming gardening activity.
Mhm.
And ito yung mga estudyante ko po sa Maan National High School, taking up agricultural crops production in partnership with Sir Rolly Agadia. And through our
Mm.
heads, Lorelai Salinas. Hi sa inyo diyan.
Okay. Hi to the teachers who really help as well advocate sustainable agriculture, right? And then backyard gardening. Balikan lang natin yung first picture kanina. You were saying pala kanina sa first picture, just because I remember it, and I think it's a very very important point. One is you said you just started this one for your own community, a little community backyard, right? And then later you said na,
Yes,
uy, dumadami na yung mga gulay, so pwede nang ibenta sa community. So, is it until now still creating an income for the community na parang additional income sa kanilang mga bahay and pamilya?
yes, yes, opo. Though pa kaunti-kaunti lang, siyempre, tawag niyan, yung tawag niyan, yung harvesting ano namin, is nagtapos na and we are now, nasa planting season na naman. Meron pa rin kami mga vegetables na nandun, especially
Mm-hmm.
yung mga long term na mga vegetables na puwedeng i-harvest every day. So, may mga bumibisita dun at, nag-a-avail
Okay.
ng mga vegetables.
Right. No, on this second picture you've already shared earlier, you mentioned that these are all IP students in Maan National High School.
Yes,
At the start ba, when you started TechVox Sustainable Agriculture with Maan National High School, are they already very, very energetic and alive to go into agriculture, or was there also a hesitant na they wanted also to go into uh, other programs aside from technology vocational agriculture strand,
yeah.
or was there a
I think
difference into that? Go ahead,
there's no
Harry, go.
point for them, to be hesitant since wala namang other courses na ino-offer ang school unless they have the capacity to go, dun sa ibang eskuwelahan, especially sa General Santos City, at makipagsapalaran do'n. And sa amin naman, sa Maan National High School, since yan lang din ang tinuturo namin, we are actually trying our best na somehow ma-enjoy nila yung, agriculture or gardening per se, ah, na mga program
Wow.
kumbaga.
Okay.
And at some
Wow.
point hindi sila mahirapan at mas ma-enjoy pa nila lalo, yan.
Okay. Wow. You've raised a very very important point. Once sabi mo wala naman sila atang, well, to summarize that one, wala kasi din silang choice. But you are also saying kahit wala silang
Yes,
choice,
wala,
you o baka may gusto silang iba, pero positively already develop their interest, and they already develop na mahalin talaga yung pag-agriculture, right? And based on that, what was the result
yes.
of that advocacy and of that passion, to instill them na, kahit wala tayong opportunity to go to the city, we can still love agriculture. What was the specific result of that? Anong nangyari sa kanila after they graduated, senior high school with the agriculture strand?
Ayan. Ever since nag-start kami ng aming, senior high school program, we already had 3 batches na mga graduates ng aming
Mm-hmm.
agricultural crop production and organic agricultural agriculture production. All of them, got the 100% passing rate from Maan National High School, and, yung iba ay nakapagpatuloy ng kolehiyo, and through
Mm-hmm.
their skills na nakuha nila sa agriculture, some say that they were thankful na agriculture yung kinuha nila because nakatulong yung skills na nakuha nila sa school. And
Mm.
some say na maganda yung kanilang training ground sa agriculture because it's actually a way of life. And siyempre, yung mga nakikipagsapalaran 'no, karamihan naman sa kanila, wala masyadong kakayahan na i-sustain yung kanilang collegiate, journey. So they use their hard-learned skill from, our TechVoc program sa Maan National High School as their avenue or kanilang tawag niyan, um, tool na ginamit 'no sa
Mm-hmm.
pag-sustain ng kanilang, pag-aaral at other and some are now enjoying, kanilang ay yung mga corporate jobs na marami ng mga nag-apply sa mga kumpanya through their uh, NC2 certificates.
When you say
And yung iba,
corporate jobs, agriculture related pa din to, no?
yes, opo,
All right.
agriculture
So okay.
related.
Okay. Well, just to comment on that, because according to research daw, 85% of the world's youth, yung mga kabataan sa mundo, 85% of them actually came from developing countries, no? Which includes the Philippines. We may be, I think, ano na ba tayo ngayon? A lower middle income country na ba or paakyat na tayo pagiging middle income country? I'm not really so sure. But yun nga, the research still shows that majority of the world's youth does not yet see agriculture as a lucrative career. What's your comment on that based on your experience? Kasi nabanggit mo nga, yung iba naman now is in corporate jobs with still agriculture just using the NC2, right? It doesn't, hindi pa sila college. So what's your comment about the statement that majority of the world's youth does not see agriculture as a lucrative career?
Actually ang problema lang din kasi kapag, yung mga kabataan natin ay nawawalan ng gana when we say kapag farmer ka mahirap ko or ano naman diyan. Ang dapat lang kasi diyan na tingnan ng ating kabataan kung ano yung beauty na maibigay ng agriculture sa kanila, kumbaga. And with the, uh wait, someone's calling.
No problem with that.
With the fact na ano, na ayan, bumalik na ba ako?
Yes, you're back. Actually, you're back. Okay.
Ayan,
Okay,
okey lang po. Ayan,
maybe you
with the
pause
fact
for a while
na
on that
yung
habang
kabataan
nag-set up.
natin
Go ahead. But maybe
ah, ayan, the fact na yung mga kabataan po natin ay mas nahuhumaling dun sa makabagong teknolohiya o bigay ng bagong technology, parang natatabunan yung interest or yung beauty ng agriculture. And, uh, by taking agriculture as a source of skills, uh, it's one good thing to consider.
all right. So before we proceed, kasi may nag-comment dito mapakilala po kayo. Napakilala na po kami kanina pero maybe I'd like to reintroduce our guest tonight is Hariz Tawan, a licensed teacher and a both licensed teacher and licensed agriculturist as well. A very very strong advocate of urban gardening, sustainable agriculture among young people in Region 12, specifically South Cotabato and General Santos City. And because of his passion on peace building, youth advocacy, and sustainable agriculture, he was awarded by the UNESCO as one of UNESCO's most outstanding young educators awardee. Anong taon to, Har? Yung UNESCO award mo? What year was this? Would you remember? All right. While Harry still not yet medyo may technical problems siguro si Harry. Let's look at some comments from our friends here saying hello to muna to Boggs is with us. Hi Boggs, Abdulaziz. Then we have John Dave Pacheco. Marijoy was saying gardening actually is a positive result of coronavirus. How was that? Because people are actually staying at home and was able to plant maybe flower. I was actually watching one of the was this one of but it was actually a different topic. Pero ang sinabi ng mga this actually came from the entrepreneurs, not from the agriculture. That because entrepreneurs are risk takers, they see also a positive result of an opportunity for challenges like this one. Is as I was saying already, and coming from what Majoy was saying, because of agriculture, people are now planting. Nama? Yung iba maybe flowers and ornamental plants, and actually others are actually planting also vegetables as well. I'm going to connect Hariz in once in a while. Like, nagsiset up lang siya na kanyang phone. Hello to Kaz Gaya, he's present to us, and to Alan J. Cabrera. Daghang salamat for watching our live tonight. Let us move back, Harry. Harry, medyo tumatagilid yung screen mo. Bakit kaya? Tagilid yung screen mo eh. A comment from John Dave Pacheco. Sabi ni John, yung compound po namin punong-puno nga ng mga bulaklak and gulay. And gardening is one of the best stress reliever. Har, tingnan mo yung ano mo, Har, yung screen mo. Medyo nabaliktad tayo. I'll just pull you out muna for the moment as you check your correct. I mean, gardening really is one of the best reliever, but I must also admit na parang yung interest ko ngayon pa lang. In fact, this is a good sharing. This was few days ago kasi hindi na ako masyado nagra-rise, which because I need to lose so much of a weight. Tinatry ko yung kamote na i-grow na, and at least ngayon na nag-grow na, medyo nag-grow na siya. So tomorrow pwede na itong ilipat sa isang garden pot. And may mga ice cream tubs kayo dyan, mga mineral water na yung mga lalagyan ng mineral water na hindi na ginagamit, yung mga ice cream tubs, so anything that you can actually use. The other one is si E pala, E Grozo at saka si Ras magkakilala. Magkakilala kami ni Razul. So, shout out to E Grozo. E Grozo is now one of the Future Bridging Leadership Program scholar of the Asian Institute of Management. So, makikita kami ni ni E Grozo in one of these days for some coaching on leadership and management. And hello to Lee Lob from Buenas noches. This is from Zamboanga, I suppose. So we lost Hardy in a bit. Kanina then we're also saying that in the Philippines, for instance, sinasabi ni Harry kanina very very positive na yung kanilang school naman were actually 100% 100% pass doon sa kanilang NC2 for agriculture as they tie up with the Technical Education Skills and Development Authority. In tatlong taon na silang tatlong taon na silang 100% dun sa kanilang passing rate sa TESDA ng MAA National High School. No? Even though, sinasabi nga ni Harry kanina, the challenge was actually how to strongly still advocate agriculture in Maan, in Barangay Maan in Diboli, don't have much of a choice but to stay. But also, the challenge to the teachers is to turn that challenge of staying na wala silang choice into opportunity for really grow the hearts and minds of the adolescents of Maan and really take on agriculture. And Hariz was also saying earlier na halos lahat ng graduates nila after passing 100% with TESTA, NC2 or the National Competency Level 2 exam with TESTA, many of them also working in the corporate world as agriculturists, no, or mga yung associate agriculture staff siguro if I am correct, but still going to their dreams of working and creating food. The second part is the one that they mentioned about, Hariz mentioned earlier about that one best actually advocacy is among themselves in Maan, the teachers and then the students, the community are making sure that they translate this opportunity of gardening and farming for food consumption at home, number one, and number two as well for their additional income at that, right? And what else? We are already losing Harris for already like I think almost 10 minutes now. I hope he can still come back because I think it's raining in the area now, but we'll try to. We still have about 20 minutes more to go, and I hope we can close really formally with Hari's tonight. This is kind of like the problem with technology in the Philippines. I hope the new technology that's going to come in terms of signal and the strength of the signal would really be uh, faster than today. Hi to Leng. Hi Leng, I missed you. You're watching. Yeah, we already started like 38 minutes ago. Leng, thank you for watching. So our guest earlier, I hope he can come back. Is UNESCO's most outstanding young educators of the Philippines, Mr. Hariz Tawan. And maybe I'd just like to show some of his pictures pa na shinare sa atin earlier for advocacy purposes. So this is the students of Hariz Tawan in Maan National High School in Tiboli. These are mixed Blaan and Tiboli and their backyard gardens in the school as they started this one, organic gardening and farming as well. And then they are now growing not just for their school but also for their community, and now they're already earning income out of this one, right? The other picture I'd like to show to you is a photo from the Agriculture Training Institute, which shows us that all of these are actually in one small backyard lang, sabi ni Harris, when we're doing the test run kanina. So you can grow, uh, di ba, usong-uso ngayon yung glutamate ba or ternate? How do we pronounce that? Glutamate sa ating mga bahay. There's pandan, there's peppermint. You can grow some vegetables. And kanina nga I was sharing to you, di ba? I already have a kamote here for your backyards. And dito sa aking apartment, the other last weekend, pinalinisan ko na yung likod, no, kasi sayang naman na there's about, I think, hold on, 3 by 6 of small backyard dun sa likod ng aking apartment na puro lang naman damo na we can actually really use for backyard gardening as well. Okay. uh, as we close, the other thing is, how do we encourage young people to really grow to agriculture? So how do we do that on encouraging young people to grow agriculture? One is to start really backyard gardening, isa o dalawang what's this? Isa or dalawang pots lang, no? Or using the recycled plastics that we have at home. Maybe yung plastic bottled water, or yung mga soft drinks na 1.5 or 2 liters, or if you have ice cream tubs, you can start that. And I'm very very happy to share yung mga kasama namin sa bahay, our mga kasama namin sa bahay, and these are all ladies plus my father. They're doing a little bit of home gardening na hindi ako nakaka-join, sad to say, because wala ako doon, and I'm trying to advocate now that we bring back home gardening as part of our new normal. Bakit nga ba bring back home gardening? Because I remember nung elementary tayo, di ba? Sa mga kasing edad ko na magko-40 na, in the early 90s, between 1991 to 1996, 1997, I think, on those period, merong program, di ba, ang DEX pa the time, Department of Education, Culture, and Sports. Before DepEd, it was DEX before. And they call it FAITH, di ba, food always in the home. And then I think there was a tie-up with the 4-H club of the Department of Agriculture at that time. So it's actually bringing back, because this should actually not necessarily new to us, but maybe new to the younger generations now, kasi di naman nila nabutan yun. And then we put it in the context of new normal, which is like the pandemic we are experiencing now. Or because many of the researchers then, sinasabi na rin nila na, etong new normal na ito, hindi naman na aalis na din. No? This will stay maybe 2 to 3 years, and there will be a different normalcy tayo na my experience, if that is a correct statement. So the other thing to point as well is hi to Michelle Avila Sakulan. Yes, see, we lost Harry. I apologize for that. But yes, in the first 20 minutes or 30 minutes or so, Harris was actually available. But maybe he has. n- I could not contact him still now because I'm using my form for data purposes. But yes, Harris was there on the first 20, 25 minutes or 30 minutes of the show. We just lost him at around 8:07 or 8:08 tonight. Uh, the other question that we throw in as we plan for bring back home gardening under the new normal is to look at uh, what is our hope on the state of young people in agricultural for young people to really think and go agriculture. Agriculture in the context of innovations because of the space na meron tayo ngayon, especially at the urban setting, sa mga subdivisions, sa mga bahay-bahay. Maybe to, because like, ang mga kabataan ngayon, ang lakas-lakas ng kanilang innovations, di ba? They're very, very innovative, if I may say it correctly. So, they may not be interest in big farming, as in farming na ginagawa ng ating mga lolo, which is actually very, 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 very important because they may because maybe because of the space that they're in now, di ba, confined sa maliit na area, plus because of the influence of technology, and as well as other sources of as well as other sources of kanilang gustong gawin sa kanilang mga buhay. But so that's our hope. Our hope for them is to utilize technology and promote really home gardening. TikTok is there. Remember ba last March there were 13 million downloads of TikTok. So they can dance and then they can show their garden as they plant, maliliit na talbos na kamote sa bahay nila. They can use their Facebook account, they Instagram as well, taking pictures of their small plant of pot in their homes, just because we don't want young people to be detached with technology kasi yun talaga ang world ng new generation now. I think we're having Harris back. Sandali, let me add Harris now. Bumalik na si Harris eh. I hope he can come back now with our. Hi, Har, you're here. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Thumbs up if you can hear me. Can you hear me now? Thumbs up? Not yet? Can you hear me? Let's okay. Har, can you hear me? Thumbs up? Okay, let's continue until Harris is able to hear us. For the time being, let me remove him. All right. So we are saying our hope for young people is really to go back planting. There was a very very funny remarks when I was in college, I think, or high school. There was a contest. If you guys know this one, don't mention any names. It's kind of like we use this one as a symbolic mechanism. There was a contest, and then there was a same reasons. Maybe you just go back to your community and plant kamote there. Maybe it's correct now, right? We go back to our community, we plant this kamote, and then we earn income. We become, we earn more income. We feed our family at that, diba? We're able to support our community as well, and we're able to uh, bring back the importance of our food in the table from our agriculture. So Har is already here. Hi Har, good evening again. I don't know what's happening to Harris. Maybe let's call. Uh, let's try to have him on board. Okay. I'm going to call Harris by phone now, and then let's see on problema. So again, our speaker guest for tonight is Mr. Harris Tawan from Maan National High School. He's actually a licensed teacher and as well as a licensed agriculturist both. One second. Um, and he's really a promote a young youth leader, young leader on sustainable agri culture as that. The other thing that we wanted to stress tonight in terms of uh, promoting agriculture is to say that, you know, it's time for us to tell to the young people to really take take back the center stage in terms of promoting agriculture and as a whole for our benefit, no? And then that our young people really are also key players of development, and agriculture is one of the development aspects that we uh, are having now. I mean that we are, di ba, sa sustainable development goals, we have to make sure that, di ba, there's a point there of sana there's uh, there's, you know, we going to end agriculture, and then everybody should have at least food on their table at that instance. But hi to Eileen Estopa Tulio. So we're still really losing uh Hariz now since 8:08 tonight. Papasok-pasok siya. I think that the signal to sa area niya is very weak, and I hope we can really go back and talk to him. He still have very interesting points to share with us tonight. 172. Let's try to call him. 9222. Har, can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Yes, yes.
Wow,
Ayan. I'm
Haris!
really sorry,
Thank
may
you, Har.
kaproblema tayo with the internet connection. May ang tawag niyan,
Mhm.
humihina yung connection namin
Humihina daw ang connection ni Haris today, right? Can you thumbs up if you're already fine? Thumbs up,
we've
please.
actually
Har? Okay, Har is still freezing at this moment. This is really we cannot, wala tayong magagawa for this kind of technology. We just have to go on with our discussions for tonight. So in in one of the document that I've read this morning, a very strong document from the professional. I'd like to acknowledge the young professionals for agricultural development. If you'd like to just go to their website, it's www.ypar.net. One of the message that they gave us is really this one. What first is, they said the young generation should take the center stage in terms of agricultural development and sustainable food production. Number one, the spotlight is ours. So this is for young generation, and that there are young generation who should be very important key players, and not just key players, but that the young generation should really advance the promotion of agriculture, and that the young people shall act in a very orchestrated manner, and they as dynamic individuals burning with desire to learn, innovate, and inspire while promoting agriculture. So it's actually really innovation in agriculture. So and then the other one is to, according to the young professionals for agricultural development, they were saying that the agriculture should be their generation, and that they would really advocate and quest for sustainable development in agri culture at that. Medyo nag-freeze pa din si Harris if you see him. Uh, let's try to call Harris siguro sa telepono, and then let's see if we can put Harry in phone patch. See? Har, can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Hindi ka na nag-freeze, Har. Can you, okay, nag-freeze ka So we're still not able to connect. How are you, Haris?
Yeah, I'm good here. Ang problema lang namin dito yung internet connection. Parang may nag-connect na iba.
Oh, may
Kaya,
nag-connect na iba. So, baka may alam ng password ng iyong tablet or phone na ginagamit for connection. All right.
yes.
Are you using your phone now to connect sana to the live stream or different ones?
I'm still using my phone and the tablet as the router connected
Okay.
to the main router.
Okay. Okay. Shall I cancel this one now and you try to go into the live again?
Yes, I can do that.
All right. Okay. So let's wait for Harry to come back for the nth time. This is supposed to be a 1 hour live feed, but we'll try to extend a bit. Hi, Jon Snow from Bukidnon. Yes, we started at 7:30 tonight actually. So while waiting again for Harris to come, kanina pinag-usapan natin na in the Philippines there's actually a declining, no? Bumababa yung interest na kabataan for agriculture. And not just in the Philippines. I remember few months ago there was a research in Japan, and then the Japanese the research asked the question kung anong gustong gawin ng mga kabataan. And you know what? Everybody wants to become a YouTuber or I mean, yeah. And then, well, anyway, we are live now the same. No? So everybody wants to have that. Har, can you hear me? let's let's have Harry now back into the stream kasi medyo pumapasok naman siya pero nawawala lang daw ang signal niya. Yeah. So in this light, we say the younger generation should see themselves in the big picture as key players really for agricultural development. Yeah? That because we believe that there is no role too small to make impact in the sector of agriculture, sustainable agriculture at that, if I may say it correctly. And at the earlier part of this live feed kanina, we already mentioned that the decline of enrollment in agriculture, which is also a result of a decline of interest of young people in agriculture, will going to have a very very tremendous impact to the Philippines because we are the 12th most populous country in the world. And having said that, na tayo ang isa sa pinakamaraming populasyon sa mundo, we need to make sure that we have our food production is really sustainable and ample for all of us to feed all of us. So Harry is back. Harry, can you hear me now clearly?
Hi again. Ayan,
Okay,
nasi-stressed ako
wow,
sa
we lost
internet
you for
connection
like
man. But how are you there, Kuya Nonoy?
good. We medyo pinapawisan kasi wala akong aircon now, but kanina we are already kanina naputol tayo at 8:08 p.m. and when we're talking about your inspiration, naalala ko pa kanina na 100% of your students in agriculture passed the NC2 agricultural exam of TESDA. And you were saying also earlier that there was also a challenge because the students from Maan could not go to say to an urban area to study, but you use that challenge to really inspire them to go to agriculture. Those are little steps that you did and that you support to them. How would you like to expand that further sa ibang mga communities then na they're struggling from encouraging their children, their youth and adolescents sa kanilang community to go to tech voc and really go to agriculture? Go ahead.
Well, on that matter, these platforms naman provided by the government, especially the Department of
Go ahead, Har. So you're saying to encourage the government, especially the Department of Agriculture, to what? To Go
of
ahead.
course, tawag since yung ating gobyerno ay gumagawa ng tawag niyan integrated programs, no, ng bawat department, no.
So Harris was saying earlier, there's an integrated program that the government is uh, actually promoting for agricultural development, and we hope that that the parents of these young people can also really what's this encourage their children, no, mga pamangkin nila, mga anak and all of that, to really go to agriculture. So Harris, we lost you when you were saying there's an integrated program in government, and that you really wanted this integrated program government to be supported by the parents and the community as well, correct? And then to tap that opportunity, right?
Yes, that's correct.
So and then expound on that. Har? And then we still go ahead. Can you hear me? All right. There's a comment from. Go ahead, Har. Go. You are. I can see you moving now.
Tuloy yung aking connection. Oh, what a big challenge for those who will be taking online platform sa Department of Education ngayon.
What's the challenge there? Sorry. You were saying this is one of the challenges of technology is really a challenge. We're also testing technology dun sa mga online learning, di ba? Yung ating upcoming classes, maybe many of which will be online uh, through this kind of platforms. This is really very, very challenging. So this is also kind of a practice, no, sa mga kaibigan kong teachers dyan. Not also, so aside from you guys learning tonight about bringing back home gardening at home and in the new normal, you're also learning to be patient with technology that we are actually having now. So how can you now hear me again? Okay, Har? Okay, we first go to the comment of John Snow. It's because of technology na din siguro kaya ayaw na nila maging farmer or maging engaged in agri-based activities, no? Kasi nakakonnote na kasi sa Pinas, pag farmer ka, mahirap. Kaya ayaw na mga kids. Okay, I'd like to comment na to ng 2 points. I remember before, nung bago pa yung, di ba nauso yung, di ba Jon Snow at saka yung mga kabatch ko na nandito ngayon, di ba nauso yung Farmville? There was an online game before called Farmville. And I'm making a joke sa mga friends ko, medyo naging hook na hook sa Farmville, no, na sige yung farming, kasi ang gaganda na ng mga farm nila online, yung sa larong Farmville. So sabi ko, kailan natin ita-translate yung Farmville natin online into an actual farm or kahit garden man lang, no? And yeah, Jan Snow is correct to point that one kasi kanina nga sa research, sinasabi na natin, di ba, na very, very low yung interest ng kabataan for gardening, vegetable gardening at that, home gardening, and even going to agriculture. And siguro the other din is because we tend to believe, and based na din sa research yun, na sa Pilipinas kasi kapag farmer ka, mahirap ka, di ba? But I know in other countries, before I just hear that one, narinig ko lang, but now that I have some friends who are based abroad, sinasabi talaga nila, no, if you are agriculture farmer abroad, you're actually one of the most respected in the community, no? Nirerespeto ka sa iyong community at that. John Dave Pacheco saying, mahirap talaga pag technology. Okay, so let's go back to the issue of technology. Isa to sa mga challenges na yun, lalo na pag officer ka ng isang eskwela, kailangan pa mag-adjust at magplano ng ibang platforms online. Actually, correct, Jan. And what we're facing now, aside from our topic, I hope we don't lose eye on the topic, but just segue lang ng konti. You know, Hariz now is based in a rural community, and this is also kind of like a showcase of us advocating that, you know, faster internet now should be given to our rural communities. Kasi diba, as we go into technology, education and technology, as we blend them together, there might be more and more children that will be left behind. And just a segue of that, that's why I think the government is doing its best to ensure that the blended learning approach would really happen, no, from these challenges in technology that we are actually facing. Okay, so going back to our topic, I was just actually
Man,
responding to Jan on that. So going back to our topic on bringing back home gardening to the new
ito,
normal.
walang light.
um, Going back to our topic on that, we also mentioned earlier that apparently the farmers' children are now seeking careers than farming, which has been pointed out by John Snow, who's watching as well now, and as well as saying din kanina sa mga tao, but John Dave Pacheco was very, very optimistic in saying that, stress reliever din kasi yung gardening, kaya yung aming bahay is punong-puno ng gulay and mga bulaklak. And then having said that, I'd like to show you some of our photos na kanina with Hariz in terms of presentation niya kanina. With Hariz was actually mentioning earlier kanina, this was their farm, their community garden sa school nila, Samahan National High School. And this started just as a community mechanism na sila lang, and as part of their school, and then it become a few household mechanism for gardening and farming, and then it went to now, because naisipan nila na marami silang sobrang gulay, they already expanded this one to be distributed and to be sold to their own communities as well in Maan, Tiboli, South Cotabato at that, right? And then the other one was, we mentioned earlier that Harry started his passion for agriculture. One, because the influence was because he came from an agricultural family, from farmers. And then naisipan niya na in the future, really, we'll be really talking about agriculture, for the importance of agriculture will really be there. And having said that, Harris also earlier mentioned about, you don't have to be in the farm to do agriculture. That's why our theme for tonight is bring back home gardening to the new normal. Okay, so we are an hour past now. We'll try to adjust to 5 more minutes before we close our tonight's discussion. Kind of like unfortunate that 30 minutes lang natin nakasama ng maayos si Hariz kanina. After 30 minutes, medyo nawala na siya at hindi na maayos yung signal ni Hariz Tawan kanina as we are doing our Facebook Live for tonight. And by the way, this is already the second Facebook Live that I'm doing personally. And I've got some messages of who's supporting you, this, etc. I don't know if it's okay for me to share that this is not sponsored by anybody else. This is sponsored by moral support of my friends to go this, and myself as well, if that's correct. Because I just would like to send a clear message that this is a personal endeavor and it's not connected to any of my organizations currently and to any of my organizations before. All right. So in closing, as we close our tonight's discussion, I'd like to share to you a one of the messages that I really love about promoting agriculture. And it says, we need more young people to be involved in farming because the future needs real food. Maayong gabi kaning tanan, this is Samahan si Kuya Nonoy FB Live 2. Tara, istoryahan na ita pag-usab. Paalam and magandang gabi po sa inyong lahat. God bless and thank you for those who watched this show tonight. See you next week and follow me on Facebook and on YouTube. Samahan si Kuya Nonoy. Our guest next week is one of the most outstanding students of the Philippines. She'll be talking about leadership and management. So, di ba? One of the most outstanding students of the Philippines. I'm not going to name her now, but watch out. Next week, every Wednesday, we'll do an FB Live. Again, this is Samahan si Kuya Nonoy. Tara, istorya na ita. Daghang salamat kayo. Uy, may pahabol pa na comment. I'm hoping na sana matapos na itong quarantine. Yes, John, hindi pa rin matapos ang pagtatanim. Yeah, after the quarantine, let's not stop doon sa pagtatanim in home gardening. Maraming salamat and magandang gabi sa inyong lahat. Paalam po.